This Protoss versus Protoss.
LTA는 SK텔레콤.
A big cheer from the crowd going out for JINAIR right there. But down in the bottom left, for Samsung Galaxy Con, this is, of course, eMotion.
Very young, very new to televised broadcast matches, being on camera, being in front of a live audience. He's up against a very skilled and good all-around player, Terminator. Of course, transitioning right into JINAIR Green Wings after Kespa's 8th team. Got that sponsor, and you know, they changed names and logos and everything. So he's been around playing with these players for a long time. He's got a lot of experience training with them. So he meshes well into the team. I'm trying to think of an example of like where I could compare him to some other team as a player. He's almost like Gandhi was on Slayers or something, where you know, he's a really good player, and he's kind of like that player that you always want to put out. He's not a flashy player, and his win ratio is not always up in the green, but he's a player who can really take good games, and he's favored here because he has the experience. He's played a lot more televised matches, and this is a term he's very familiar with.
Yeah, as cool as eMotion's ID is, you know, I was looking at that actually. Is it eMotion, like esports motion, like, you know, internet motion, or is it eMotion?
That's a good question.
I don't know, because the M is capitalized. Maybe he just does it because a lot of these players, these pro players, like to just throw random capital letters in there. But I feel like that has a meaning. But regardless of how cool his name is, I want to see how cool his play is. Can he keep his cool against Terminator?
Yeah, can he keep his cool under the pressure? That's what we're going to see from a lot of these new players. Pro League this season has a huge influx of players. Despite what anybody says about looking at the lineups, when you look at these lineups, you can see that there are new up-and-coming pro gamers right now in Korea, and they really want to prove themselves here. And this is, we talked about it, almost beating it to death about how important it is to play that first match in front of people. It's the most exciting moment of your career at that moment, but it's also the scariest moment of your career. And it just depends on how you cope with that, how well you can do in that very first important match.
Yeah, definitely. We're going to have to see if he can keep his cool. He is sending that probe scout out right now, as well as building that first zealot. Terminator throwing down a second gateway right now.
Yeah, Terminator wants to, at the very least, be able to put some early pressure on, get that scouting information. The double gateway in Protoss versus Protoss is a great way to force your way into your opponent's base, see if he builds a sentry or not. And if he doesn't build a sentry, he only has one gateway, he's trying to do some really, really greedy tech build, you can often punish him for that and then scout what he's doing. If he builds a sentry, you just think to yourself, okay, so that's 100 gas he's spent on that. Does he have a mothership core or not? Where's his tech possibly at right now? Until your sentry is ready, until you have that hallucination.
Yeah, and that's going to put Terminator in a very safe spot, you know, just putting the ball in eMotion's core, you know, sending your units across the map, getting the scouting information, getting any information you can out of eMotion.
Yeah, you know, as we say in esports games, just poke him. To come up, poke a little bit, see what you can get out of him, maybe force a reaction. eMotion adds 2 additional gateways here late. So what he's going to be doing is spending most of his chrono boost not on units, but warp gate research to hit a timing. And against a Twilight Council player we see, or even Dark Templar, depending on what Terminator chooses, this can be a great way to scout, and it can also get him really far ahead. It's all about Terminator's micro to see how he responds to this.
Yeah, and he actually just threw down the Stargate at the same time, so will we see a similar build actually to what Cal did yesterday?
Yeah, you know, if he adds some Phoenixes here after he pokes a little bit and goes to the follow-up, he forces some sentries down, then comes and picks them up. Could even see an Oracle follow-up here, so once he pushes those units away, he can actually go down and get some probe kills in the mineral line when it's exposed.
And I hope for his case that he at least builds that Oracle first, because we do see a Dark Shrine now going down for Terminator. He's going to need some sort of detection against that.
There's no sentry here, Brendan. Yep. I really worry right now for Terminator, because this is a scary push coming his way. A lot of Stalkers coming forward. He has that Mothership Core for vision. He's walking down the ramp right now. He doesn't know what's coming. It's 4 Stalkers to 3 with Zealot and Mothership Core support. Warp Gate research isn't done yet either. This is looking really, really bad for Terminator. He needs to buy time. At least has that Mothership Core that's going to buy him some time, and the Dark Shrine is still not scouted.
this could actually be really good for Terminator if eMotion does not scout this. He is getting that Oracle, though, so that will be a benefit to him at least. Adding another gateway right now is Terminator. He needs to hold off this push at least until his Templar come out.
If the Oracle goes for harassment and he doesn't queue a second one, this could be a very, very, very dire situation. Yes, he does in fact have the robotics coming up right now, but if two DTs get into the main base, he can kill that before the Observer is ready, and then the Oracle is so far away, and he's actually sending it right away right now. This is a big problem. How many DTs can he make? What does he make at first? The answer is 1. Will he get the second one? He's just barely on enough resource. If he gets 2 and kills the robotics, might end the game. Now he sees it. Now he knows he doesn't have a sentry to force field things out. He needs to get his units around that robotics if he wants to save it.
He knows where it is. He sees the blur. He's sending the Oracle right back. Yeah. He has to get it back. And right now,
it's just going to be, he's just deciding here to try to kill probes instead of trying to go for a kill move. Or, well, no.
No, he's going for this robotics right now. He's trying to get it down as quickly as possible. If the Oracle gets back in time, he is able to deter that harass with the Dark Templar. And now Terminator has to be careful.
Yeah, that's a really interesting choice they did. If you have 2 DTs, I feel killing the Robo is like almost a sure bet no matter what. He doesn't know about the Stargate, so that's one reason why he stuck around, I'm sure, because he didn't know that detection was coming back. But
yeah.
Now he's trying to transition into Blink here, and this is not a comfortable way to go into the mid game when you know your opponent already has robotics and likely Immortals coming out. He doesn't need to make an Observer first because he already knows what he's up against. He has the Oracles for detection, so he's going to get those Immortals rushed out. So Blink is not going to be, I don't want to say it's not going to be useful, it's just not going to be easy to utilize. With Immortals out, they just kill the Blink Stalkers so fast.
Yeah, and just looking at Terminator's army, he still does not have any sentries, and he's actually going for an expand right now. eMotion could actually take this if he goes for a really nice attack with 2 Immortals, but at the same time, he throws down his Nexus over at his base.
Oracle's continuing to scout here right now. eMotion comes into the main base here, needs to get out right away. Nice reveal on these Stalkers that lets him know if any push is coming anytime soon. I really, really like eMotion's position right now. He has the better tech. His Nexus is so safe. He's got an Observer coming out. He's getting his Forge. And this is going to be one of those PvPs where the only hope that Terminator has is to try to get to the late game, try to sit back and hope that he can win a big battle. Not necessarily maxed out, but where the 2 armies are so big that if you micro so much better than your opponent, you might be able to take the win. The Blink that he has here, that's not going to win him this game. There's already too many Immortals out. And I don't see him breaking through with the Immortal control solid here. I don't think it's gonna happen. He has to go away right as soon as he sees the Immortals. He's like, well, yeah, that investment was wasted.
Yeah, just kind of he sees the 2 Immortals, blinks right away, and he at least has his Nexus up a tiny bit faster than eMotion, but that's just about the only advantage he has in this game.
Yeah, I mean he's even losing probes here. He's not mining from his Nexus. Mothership Core has to use its photon overcharge, which doesn't really amount to anything. Obviously, the Oracle is going to get away. This is nice, though. If you can get in the main base and do some damage, unpower this Forge, get a pylon, then get out. Maybe even get 1 Immortal that's alone. Not with the overcharge, you can't.
The overcharge goes down, at least burning some energy on the Mothership Core. A little bit of harass here with the Blink Stalkers. That is something you can do with the Blink compared to eMotion, which he does not have that Blink just yet.
Yeah, when you have Blink, if you're able to do this, if you're able to get in and pick off some structures without losing too much, that's how you can make Blink worth it. It takes so much skill to do this, though, against a pro gamer of eMotion's caliber, he's got so much experience dealing with Blink harass like this. He already has a healthy Immortal count. He can start to split his units into the main base and the natural and just say, all right, no, you're never actually going to be able to do any damage to me.
Yeah, eMotion able to defend that pretty easily. He has lost a couple of pylons and almost an Immortal there. He does lose his Oracle, though, getting a bunch of probes, as our Observer does point out. He has another one over here on the right if he decides to go for any harass. He keeps on just revealing, though, that main base, getting a look at all the tech. He does know that robotics base is coming up.
Yeah, he knows the base coming up. And interestingly enough, he goes for his own counter Dark Shrine play. This is going to be an indicator that eMotion wants to play late game, because Had he just on his own gotten his own robotic spay a little bit later and used the extra gas that he had to catch up on Colossi, he would still be ahead the same way he was before. But with the Dark Shrine, basically what he's saying is, or what he was saying until he just canceled it, was I'm going to get some DTs out and try to control the map a little bit and keep your third Nexus down. Now he's adding a Templar Archive instead to get more gas-heavy Archons and to build a late-game composition that's what you would expect to see in this matchup.
Yeah, I'm actually excited for this because I think this is going to be the first late-game PvP we're going to have in Pro League so far.
Definitely. This is as long as it's gotten so far. It's already the longest game. We'll see how long it goes. These Stalkers over here, just a group of 5 who want to come over and maybe do some more harassment with 2 Immortals in the main. Doesn't matter how many Blink Stalkers you're doing, those Immortals are not going to have a bad time. When it comes to upgrades, +2 is on the way for both players, slightly ahead for eMotion. And this is one of those PvPs where, maybe you want to go grab some popcorn, go in the refrigerator, grab a beer, maybe a soda, or maybe, some of your holiday snacks that you just got for Christmas, and bring them back to your room, because we may be here for a little while before an engagement happens because the defender's advantage is just so strong.
Yeah, you even see Terminator adding that third Nexus. These guys are going to bunker down, so make sure you dig into your stockings, grab those Hot Pockets, get them in the microwave.
Yeah, start those. Get some chocolate, get your SpaghettiOs with meatballs. Do not eat SpaghettiOs without them.
I still have to try that, man. I wish I could get that around here. Maybe I can. Maybe I can find it somewhere.
Maybe in Itaewon you could find it, but I was to say, unfortunately for you, you're out of luck probably for getting that. We're going to see a big push here from eMotion. This is not normally how this goes. Usually when somebody like Terminator says, I'm going to take a faster third, then eMotion will try to get ahead in tech and invest in that while he also takes his third. It's a little bit later. But he's trying to punish here. This is very brave. Defender's advantage is so strong in Protoss versus Protoss. He has a 30 supply lead. He has the better army. He has Archons faster. But still, with a good position here, maybe Terminator can defend. He's not going to be able to keep this Nexus alive, but if he can take a good engagement, he might be able to turn this game around.
A nice reveal on the whole army of Terminator. eMotion's going to know where that is. He takes down the Nexus. Terminator had no hope of keeping that up. And with so many Immortals and a lot of these Chargelets and 3 Archons at the same time, he could do a bunch of damage.
Well, we'll see here. Mothership Core going for the Photon Overcharge. And to be honest, Brendan, I didn't realize he had so many Immortals. I think eMotion might just be able to walk all over him here. Charged Zealots tanking the damage on those Colossi. Once the Immortals get in, they're going to make quick work of these armored units. The Colossi on the high ground, trying to do what they can. They're now being targeted. The Nexus even is gone. He's down to 1 base, and those Immortals do not care about anything. Archon's at the back doing work, and it looks like eMotion is going to take this first game. A little bit of an upset here. It's his very first televised match, and he's able to do it.
Yeah, he played very, very nicely here. So many Immortals still on the field. That is 6. He is about to lose his last Archon, but look at this army. Taking down that second Nexus, I mean, that's got to be it for Terminator. He does not have much left. All of these Immortals dancing. The GG comes out. eMotion is so happy. He's so emotional that he just won that game.
Really nicely played, hitting that timing that, I don't have my own PC to see exactly everything from a perspective of somebody who's just literally, observing. So I wasn't sure exactly what his Immortal count was out, but when I saw him walk across the map and I saw his Immortals, I thought to myself, well, this is not a pressure play. This is, I'm going to kill you. I don't need a third Nexus play. Not just try to control my opponent, trade better with him, and maybe get a cancel on that Nexus. That was a kill move.
Yeah, that was 100% a kill move. He went right when that +2 finished. He had so many Immortals. He got down the Archive, Templar Archives right on time to get a bunch of Archons out at the same time. He had Charge up as well. Went for the kill, went really, really well. And Terminator just getting behind early on, but just was not able to hold that push.
No, he had some Colossi that he was trying to fight with at the end, but